Hi, everybody, and welcome to another session. This is Victor from Spoken Learning, and today we're going to talk about a small topic, and we're going to talk mostly about some myths about bilingualism. But first, I would like to introduce myself. As always, I hope you're having an amazing week. I hope you're having a great time with your family and friends. And also, I would like to remind you that in Spoken Learning, we provide private Spanish lessons for children and adults. That's right, for any age. Actually, we have students from that are 72 years old, 70 something, and the youngest are even 3 years old. So, uh, 4 years old. That's the time the students that we have so far. So even if you don't know Spanish at all, we can help you. We can totally help you. But also, you already have some experience and you want to take your skills to the next level. And for that, I want to remind you that we're not tutors. We are professional teachers. This is why we are doing a good job on doing this on teaching Spanish, because we are professional teachers. You can always call our text 832-413-2166. And with that, I cover my introduction. So let's go to the topic of today, which is myths about bilingualism. Okay, let's see. Okay, or in Spanish, mitos del bilingüismo. That will be the topic, mitos del bilingüismo. Muy bien, let's see. Um, well, they are less common every day. To be honest, that is true. There is more bilingual people every day, but that doesn't mean that there is not some myths that have to be debunked, because a lot of people still believes that they're real, that they work like that. So this is why we're having this. There's still some misconceptions, mostly about bilingualism. So let's check them briefly and let's give a short explanation to debunk them. They're not so hard to debunk. The first one, it says a kid with exposition to more than one language might struggle to develop a deeper and more structured communication. Okay, that is completely false. Several studies have shown that kids with more than one language are capable of learning at the same pace and level than monolingual students. The only difference is that they have more than one word to refer to a thing. So probably at some point they're gonna say something that is not in the same language that they were supposed to answer, but that is going to be covered in another number. So remember that they are not going to be stuck. They are going to be learning the same way as any other student learning in one language. With two languages, it is still possible, okay? Number two, al hablar dos idiomas frente a un niño puede provocar un trastorno del habla o del lenguaje. Now, this is a very common one, and a lot of people had said that this is why they don't want their kids to speak two languages, because they might end up having an accent or even a dyslalia, which is a complication for the mouth or the person in case to speak clearly. Um, like, I don't know if you remember Christian Bale. He has a dyslalia, and dyslalia is that he speaks with an S very marked. He says things like this, and he marks the S like too much. That's a dyslalia, but that is not because he speaks two or more languages. Actually, I don't know, but it's more related to the person. The person might discover might develop a dyslalia even by its own. So it's not a thing of a speaker of two languages. Número tres, to have more than one language gets kids confused. It is true that bilingual kids speaks with mixed languages mostly when they are younger, but this is a natural process. They need to learn to separate the languages, and with the time they will successfully do it. So that is actually very, very clear. Yes, if a kid it's not explaining himself like in the same language and putting, like I said before, mixing words from another language in the mix, that doesn't mean that the kid does not know the other word. Probably just remember the first one, the word that he or she said at the beginning, and that doesn't mean that it's not going to have the other word working. At some point, the kid is going to be able to say it, but right now it's using that one because it's the one that came first to his her mind. So that's the thing. It's nothing related with being confused. It's just the easier way. And for today, numero cuatro, if you want, well, I can bring a second part to this if somebody is interested in watching it. So number four, if you don't learn a second language as a kid, you will never be a real bilingual. This is completely false, because me, myself, I did not learn English until I was about 13. 13, 12, 14, like that. So I know my English is not perfect, but I am very capable of explaining myself in another language. And even though the fact that I haven't been a bilingual since my entire life, right? So I wasn't a small kid, small child when I started learning English. So the ability to speak languages can be acquired at any moment in life, and it's really depending on only yourself and how much you want to learn the language. The proper method for you also helps. So that is the things that you have to take care of mind when you are checking are considering even the to learn a second language, because there is no age for it. Not only young kids can actually get languages very fast. It is true that in childhood it is the best moment to learn it. Yes, that is true. There's no better window, but that is not because your language it is more capable. Your language, your brain, the brain is actually very capable of doing it at any moment, any time, with without conditions. It's just that when you're younger, your brain works faster, kind of in a way, which means that you are capable of understanding more things when you're younger, when your brain is younger, because you are learning language. I don't know, meanings, very complex meanings and concepts. So in when you're younger, your brain can comprehend more things. Your brain is like working on a very high rhythm and pace. So that's pretty much it. And that's it. Those are four myths that we might consider that are easily debunked by studies. So that's pretty much it. What I have for you today. I might bring a second part for this topic in another time to talk a little bit more about some other myths that people have relating with um, bilingualism. And that is it from my part. Eso fue todo por hoy. Gracias por su atención. Espero que hayan encontrado ese tema interesante. And just allow me to remind you that in Spoken Learning, we provide private Spanish lessons for children and adults, even if you have no previous knowledge, as already mentioned. We have students 70 something and 3 years old, also 4 years old. So we have no problem with managing any age student. Even if you have no previous knowledge. To enroll, you can always call or text 832-413-2166, and I will see you next time.